going back a number of years. How do you turn that on and off? Like, because when you're in the octagon, I wouldn't want to be in there with you, you know, and yet I enjoy being here with you like this.
Yeah, I do too. I don't want to see you in the octagon.
Yeah, I don't want to see him in the octagon either.
Hey, don't get me started here,
These
you
guys
know.
from Beaver, you know.
That's right.
He's got those Midwest roots, but you know, for me, I believe that I come from humble beginnings. You know what I mean? Like, to always be humble. You know, there's always someone out there that's better than you, and it's gonna give you a run for your money. So for me, it's about being humble, be balanced. But when it's time to go in there and you have another man that's trying to, you know, hurt you and take money off your plate for your family, you gotta switch your mentality as the weeks leading up. You know, early on in camp, I'm fun and playful. I'm enjoying it. You know, as it gets closer and closer to the fight, of course, anxiety and thoughts and things are going to approach you where you have to, hey, believe in your training, believe in what you're doing, believe that you're putting everything into this, but know that you have to be ready to go in there and become a savage. You know what I mean? It's point blank. This is not a sport. I don't like that it's called a sport. I've never been in a sport where someone's trying to kill you.
I agree with you. I've said it forever. I agree.
It's not a sport. Like, I get it. They're trying to generalize it to the main public about being a sport, but it's not. You know, so we have to have those. I don't even know if you want to. What do you want to call it? Just to flip the switch. Like, I have to be able to, like, hey, I'm a professional fighter. I gotta wear this cap today. Once I get out of the octagon, all right, I gotta put my business cap on because things might happen after the fight. With the win, you have opportunities. Okay, once I'm done, I'm driving home from my fight. I put my dad cap on. You know, I gotta go back to being a father. So for me, it's just about realizing that I have to balance all these, you know, different personalities and not get stuck in I'm no love, or I'm, you know, just, you know, when no love, it's time to be no love, it's time to be no love. And that's a small fraction of my life that I'm that no love person. And to be Cody, who I love, and I love to be around people and hear their stories and hopefully bring, you know, happiness to a lot of people in my life, and vice versa, you know. So it's what I try to do.
I know how important those stories are. You know, going back to before your time as an MMA fighter. I go back to, this is the longest running MMA show in the country. I was at UFC 11. I started covering at UFC 1, back when it was cockfighting. And we were fighting this all the time. You know, that everybody thought MMA fighters were thugs. Everybody thought that this is your life. This is how you are. And it's, no, we're real people. You know, we have real families. This is just what we do for a living. And I think not only was it important back then to help legitimize the sport, I think it's important to continue to tell those stories for the same reason.
I truly believe that too. I'm on the same page with you as that. You know, it's like we said earlier, it's not, I've never been in a sport where someone's trying to break your arm, knock you out, really, like, you know, do bodily harm to you. I mean, football, yeah, because you're trying to knock, you know, to tackle them and stuff like that, but this is a sport that's, you know, not for the weak. You know, you have to be mentally, physically, emotionally sound, you know, and gotta have a little luck in this sport too, you know. Luck goes a long way.
Sure.
In the right place, right time.
Let me ask you this, because I have a problem with this, and I'll say it up front. You know, I'm a judge in the state of Florida, and I hate when fans or even teams are yelling, you know, break his arm or do this or do that, and that's not what this sport is about.
No.
And talk about that.
Yeah, you know, I see a lot of that, you know, from a lot of coaches or teams that, you know, it's like, hey, we get it, you're going to go there and fight, but it's, you know, as barbaric and as, you know, violent as this sport is, it's still, you know, two humans in there that believe that they're, you know, really, what are we fighting for? We're fighting for a better life. You know, at the end of the day, we're fighting to put food on the table. Some people have different, you know, things that motivate them. Maybe it's the win because they're going to get the women, they're going to get the sponsorships, they're going to get this. You know, for me, it's, I want to provide for my family. You know, that's what I want to do, and I put everything into it, heart and soul. So yeah, like, though there are obviously bad apples in the sport that put that bad taste in people that are trying to become fans of MMA or mixed martial arts, but that's as the whole, you don't have too many of those. Yeah, you have a few, but you know, that's life. Nothing's going to be, you know, perfect.